House members are getting ready to vote on the Equality Act, a landmark bill that bans discrimination on the basis of sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity. The act amends the 1964 Civil Rights Act to add these protections. Joining me now is Democratic Congresswoman Angie Craig of Minnesota. She is the co-chair of the LGBTQ Equality Caucus and the first lesbian mother to be elected to Congress. She spoke earlier on the floor and is presiding over part of the vote today. Congresswoman, thank you so much for your time. We often talk about these bills in abstract terms, but this is a personal issue for you. Tell us why this bill matters to you and your family and what a long journey it has been to get to this day.
I grew up in rural America, and I never thought that this bill would come to the House floor, much less that I'd be a member of Congress and a member of this body when it did. Look, my wife Cheryl and I, we've built a beautiful life together. We have raised 4 amazing young sons, and this is just really the fulfillment of a life's work for so many people across our country.
There's a new Gallup survey that finds a record 5.6% of U.S. adults identify as LGBT. That is up from 4.5% back in 2017, suggesting that more people are feeling comfortable about coming out. But this act is controversial. Many Republicans claim it violates religious freedoms. What do you say to those who are using the argument of religious freedom to vote against this bill?
Well, my faith in Christianity teaches me that God made all of his children in his image, even the gay one of us that he made. And so I think it's ridiculous. It's the same argument that you would have heard from folks 40 or 50 years ago when we talked about protections for folks due to race and other forms of discrimination. Look, LGBTQ Americans are the only group of citizens who are still not yet protected from discrimination. I live in Minnesota. Many of these protections are already enshrined into law in Minnesota, but my wife and I can still receive discrimination based on housing or education or jury service in many states across this country.
I have to ask you about what happened on Capitol Hill today. You probably are aware and saw Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. She also filed a motion to adjourn before today's vote, and this came after Congresswoman Marie Newman put up the transgender flag in support of her transgender daughter outside her office door, which happens to be across that of Representative Greene's office. In response, as you saw, and we have there on our screen, Greene put up a sign that read, "There are 2 genders, male and female. Trust the science." There are 9 House members and 2 senators who are openly gay in this Congress. What message is this feud sending them?
Well, I'm glad my colleague is starting to think about believing in science, so that's amazing. Look, I wish my office had been across from hers so I could put my gay pride flag and my trans flag out there, and I'm incredibly proud of Representative Newman. And look, bullying trans youth in order to get some sort of political point with your base is just absolutely, it's vitriolic. And if that's the best use of your time you can figure out to use here, that's why for every single person like my colleague bullying trans youth, we need 1 million of us to step forward and affirm the lives of trans youth across this country. We see you, we hear you, you matter, you're important.
Congresswoman, we've been given